Okay.
Okay, we're starting. I'm not saying anything, right? Right.
It's somethingplanet.com. Their videos and podcasts are the bomb. Tune on in, they'll have their say. It's Stu and John and Dave today. It's somethingplanet.com.
Something Planet episode 540. Welcome to it. I'm your host, John J. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We got a great show coming up for you this week. Got a very special guest. Mr. Jeff Klein is in the studio with us. We got James Bothwell too. James is just like, man, he's like taking up a lot.
I look so big.
You look really big because of the way the new camera's angled here.
And my chair is taller than yours.
And your chair is taller than normal. Well, I'm going to get another recliner in here. That's what Jeff is hunkered down and
we
relaxing.
Look the opposite of when we're standing next to
Right,
each
yeah,
other.
exactly. You're so much taller than me.
This is going to get James laid for sure.
Oh, wow.
Look how tall he is.
Yeah, that's really going to change my girlfriend's mind about
a big-
the whole having
big
sex
bear.
with me thing. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were tall.
I had no idea. You look so tall on
now
camera.
she'll enjoy it.
Yeah, come here, big boy.
Yeah, we got a great show talking about a lot of fun things, but really happy to have Jeff here in studio. Jeff,
Yeah.
you've just been on the road for, what did you say, 49 days?
I've been out of town. I mean, on the road makes it sound like I was working a ton. I went on a 31-day cruise to Sydney.
Okay, well, that's better.
Living life. Holy shit,
And then
man.
did some comedy in Sydney. So let's say on the road, because I did comedy.
Yeah, well, it was
So
just a
that
long
counts.
voyage.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it takes a while to get there. One could fly.
Right.
Or I like to do it like the colonials did and just take a big ship over there.
So this is like old school, like you went. So where did you start? What country did you start in?
We started in San Francisco, which is its own country.
That's its own fiefdom.
Yeah. So we sailed out of San Francisco.
It's a gay mecca.
It's I call it the motherland, but yeah. So we started in San Francisco, and then the first port was L.A., and I was like, oh, so we didn't really go far. We could have just fueled up in San Francisco, and then went over. Did 2 ports in Hawaii, Tahiti, and then 5 or 6 ports in New Zealand, and then ended in Sydney. So,
Wow, man, that sounds amazing.
It was a great time.
So what was like the longest stretch you're on the ship for?
Longest trip was like 5 days on the water, 5 sea days.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that was the longest. I mean, there was like a 3 sea day thing, and then but the longest in a row was 5, I want to say. And but I had just shot my special, so all I was doing was editing the special. So just, I mean, with beautiful blue and people giving me drinks, and then me just editing. It was the best time to edit a special.
That sounds perfect. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't normally advocate doing work on vacation, but I guess we were just before the show started, we were talking about how tedious and boring editing is.
Yeah.
So it's like, that kind of makes sense. Just do it in a better place.
If you got to do it, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have downtime on this boat, so why not just bring it and do it?
So what were some of the things that you could do on those sea days? Is it just like a normal Carnival cruise, or is it better than that?
I mean, slightly better because it was Princess.
Okay.
So it was just a slightly better level of Walmart-y people there. I mean, just older, let's say.
Were you like the youngest people on the ship?
By far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was you just, because it's still a cruise ship. Yeah, it's 5 days, but you don't feel trapped because cruise ships keep you way busy with, whether it's casinos or all the shows they're doing, or the buffet or the buffet or the buffet. Like there's options to keep you busy. So yeah, you just kind of go around, meander, do whatever you want to do. They had like singing entertainment and dancing and quizzes and comedians and
Who was the comedian?
Nobody I knew of. There was a couple.
I want to hear names. I want to know if I've heard of them before.
No, there was a New Zealand comedian that did really okay 15 minutes of comedy in a 45-minute set. So,
So it was like 30 minutes of crowd work?
I was watching that going like, oh, so you don't have to care. That's cool, but like when you try to get booked on a lot of
those cruise ship guys are like, I have 5 different sets, and it's like 4 of them are just crowd work.
It was so phoned in. I was just like, oh, you get off the boat tomorrow. You don't give a shit. All right, good for you.
Right, done the same set every night.
He's been hungover. Yeah, he's been hungover for 2 months.
Yeah, that guy hates himself. He's like, I'll never do this again.
But they get paid a bunch, so they're
they get paid good.
Yeah.
Cruise ship comics get paid a lot.
Oh, shit.
Cruise ships pay well. It apparently sucks the life out of you. That being said, I am like actively trying to get onto cruise ships to have my life sucked out of me and my bills paid.
For compensation,
if that can happen, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to pay the bills. So it was a normal Princess Cruise Lines. So you didn't try to do comedy on the boat?
No, I did kept joking that like.
They
You know,
didn't have
31 days, they can't all get away from me. There's 3,000 people. I can corral some and do a set. But,
I feel like if you just go to the MC and be like, hey, dude, here's like my credits.
Yeah, I thought about it. I did. But
Like, just knock out a set real quick.
just walk into one of the bars at like a karaoke time and be like, what do I have, 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
I can do a tight 3-minute set in the time the
sure.
music plays.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that at karaoke night drunk before where I'm just like, I'm doing comedy.
Yeah, like, I don't need to read the lyrics.
And it's just like a Madonna's Like a Prayer is playing behind me. I'm like, turn it down a little bit more.
Turn that shit down.
You just laid a bed to my comedy set. I just need some musical background now.
I just described your special.
Exactly.
So yeah, speaking of your special, you got that finished up. You recorded it. When?
I recorded it September 15th, 18th, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I recorded it over 2 different Saturdays because I thought, how do I make this as hard as possible on myself? So I just have to recreate what I did one Saturday on the next Saturday.
And you have to break down the set too because
break it down
because other people are using the stage during that
100%.
time.
So how do I break it down and then put it so it looks the exact same?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
So I was like, this is the hardest way to do it. Let's do that. That's smart, Jeff. But it was awesome. Yeah, I ended up selling out both shows, which was cool.
Awesome.
And then the shows went great. Complications, technical stuff that you got to deal with that I'm like, I'll just fix it in post. And then when I'm in post, I was like, shit, I should have fixed this at the time.
Right.
Yeah, this is not the time to do it now. I don't want to. But yeah, I mean, it went great. I put it together. I think it's good. I think the audio could be better, but I didn't hire an audio guy. I hired a bunch of video guys. So.
So what did you do for the audio? What did you record for the audio? How did you record that?
I yelled loud from the stage.
No, I mean you're recording off the board,
like,
and
anybody
then
getting this. So the problem was on the first, and when you shoot your special, James, I'll tell you.
Oh man,
audio is important.
Audio is,
or by the time you shoot, that'll just transport into people's
straight
brains.
into people's brains.
Yeah.
The Elon Musk thing.
No, so we were just like, because they had a board there. So Steve Miller was my director of photography.
Okay.
Steve and I get each other. We work well with. We both know what we can do with video work. So
both been doing video for quite some time.
For a while. So we're like, they have a board. I brought all my cables. We'll hook it up. We'll run it directly to a camera, or we've got some audio stuff we'll hook it to. And then the first day we were like, the day that we were shooting, we were like, hey, so do you have like an XLR out of that board? And they were like, no. I was like, well then why do I have all of these XLR cables and like mini XLR? I was like, if it's a small one, I've got that. Let's go. I got connections. And they just didn't have it. So the first show we had to record kind of just the audio the best we could. Mm-hmm. We even had an external, like a mic on the ground to get the audience. And then it's just live and learn things. One of my camera guys, I was like, hey, make sure that's turned on so we're recording, right? And the Zoom that was hooked to. And then he was like, yeah, it's showing levels. And I was like, all right, well, showing levels is turned on. No, it's showing levels because it's on. It's not recording. So that didn't record the first night. We didn't get it directly from the board. And then the second night, we got it directly from the board. We just bought the right connections that we needed, fixed that, and turned that on. So that was done. So everything better audio recording the second night. My problem is I liked my set better the first night. So like the flow of it, the flow of the crowd. The crowd was good.
So
on the second night.
What did you end up going with?
I cut together. I kept trying for the first part of editing. I kept trying to cut together the second night because it was a better sound, and I just kept not liking it. And I was like, I've got to like it. So I cut together the first night with just not great audio, and it just feels better. It flows better. It feels better, and it's just like I had a couple people look at it for me, and they're like, "This is them grading it." They're like, "Content A, visually A, audio C."
Ooh.
And I'm like,
C's get degrees though.
But is it so to me? And I've submitted it as we talked about to where we can't talk Blamazon. I'm not going to say what it rhymes with. It's
Blamazon Blime.
Yeah, it rhymes with Cananazon. So I've submitted as is. I have a friend now looking over the audio to see if he can fix it and tighten it up. But it is one of those. I'm like, it's self-produced. It looks good and the content's good. Can people forgive the audio, or when they watch it, are they going to be like, "This is the worst thing ever"? So
it depends.
It's not horrible. I keep saying, I was like, is it bad or is it good enough? Because that's the choice it's going to be on what I have.
Well, you never want to let perfect get in the way of something good.
Right, yeah.
Like you made it, you shot it, you have it, like. You don't want to toss it out because one thing is bad. But I've known comics, and I'm sure you have too, that had to like throw out the entire project because the audio was bad.
Ouch.
Yeah, but also like keep this in mind. Like a lot of my friends that I've looked up to, when I was listening to their first albums that are out, like, and I'll call out names, but like good friends of mine, like Tim the Dairy Farmer, his first album sounds like it's in a barn. It's real echoey, but that's an album that's out on iTunes, and Larry the Cable Guy co-produced that. JB Ball, love JB Ball. Look up to JB, everything he's done.
Yeah.
His first album, the recording's in the back of a room in Key West, and it sounds like it's right by a table of ladies talking about the show during the show. And he still put that out.
Well, he had one microphone on a stool on the stage and one in the back of the room, and then he mixed that together.
What was that Dice album that kind of set the table for all that? The Day the Comedy Died?
Well, yeah, that's when he bombed.
Yeah, exactly. But you could hear drinks being clinked together and the waitresses walking by, and personally, I love that kind of. It's like you're in the club. You know what I mean? And I also like it's the balls to be like, I know this kind of sounds like shit, and it's not that funny, but here you go.
Well, and I think, I
respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, you can talk a little bit more on this too, but it is that feeling of like, if like you said, if you keep searching for it to be perfect, you may never put something out. So good enough is still good. And it is one of these that at some point we need credits behind our name as comics. At some point we need something pushing us forward, like, hey, you can find this here. And it may not be perfect that you're going to find, but having something some point in your career is better than having nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're at that 10-year mark or plus 10-year plus mark or whatever, and you don't have like a work to show, you've been grinding
That's what
out
got to me,
Yeah, you've been grinding it out in clubs forever, but at a certain point, it's just like anybody that's going to book you on anything that matters, like, where's your fucking album then? Like, where's your fucking...
Yeah, why don't you have something? And I'm like, so I needed something, and I'm real happy.
Like a 10-minute clip from a bar is no longer good.
Yeah, it's filmed on your cell phone. That's what I'm working with right now.
250 feet away in the back of Side Splitters is good for submitting to a festival.
Right.
But it's not, like, that's it. That's all it's good for.
So that kind of was the catalyst, and then but we'll see what they say, and then my favorite part of it is once it's out there, whether it's on YouTube or wherever it ends up being out. I can't wait to hear what the masses have to say, because I'm sure they'll be nice. The population's known for being polite and forgiving. So
They love people that go out on a limb.
I don't want to brag, but I actually I was looking at the ratings on Amazon Prime the other day, and my average rating's 4.9.
I was about to say, you were saying at 5 stars when I looked at it.
Yeah, it's 4.9. I got one bad review. But if you look at Louis C.K. Chewed Up, 4.7.
Ooh,
suck it, Louis.
Yeah.
Suck it, Louis C. I mean,
you're
am I
a
saying
higher-rated comic?
I'm not saying that I'm better than Louis C.K. because I have a higher score on Amazon Prime than his
Prime
special.
is saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just saying that we're just as good as each other. That's all I'm saying. We're just as good as each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming for you, Louis.
Those ratings don't mean anything. No, but so you can check out my special on Amazon Prime. It's called Rhinoceros. Just look up John J. Murray Rhinoceros, and you can get that on Amazon Prime. Right now, I want to do a fun segment that we've never done on the show before. I want to do Sub Talk. No way. Beer with a Queer. Sorry. This is the music that I used for Sub Talk.
Makes me feel like I'm back in Italy.
Yeah, it's a refined portion of the show. So Jeff, tell us real quick. This is your web show. You have several. You have a couple of different web shows, but this is one of them.
This is one of them. This is Beer with the Queer, where I try a new beer, and then I talk about anything that is on my mind. And when I have a guest, it is talking about anything that may relate to, I don't know, whatever we want to talk about. It's real loose and a real one take. Insofar as things produced, this is not produced. This is a in the moment for the moment.
And we're in a moment right now.
Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing a couple of beers on the show.
Absolutely. Catered the beers to us.
Okay, so you brought out. Let's show it to the cameras.
There it is.
If you're listening at home, we got Florida Man Fruit Punched Double IPA.
9% alcohol. 9%. I gotta be honest. At the gas station I got these at, I didn't pay much attention.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pink. It says Florida Man. Because we're both from Florida, right?
Right. Well, all three of us here are from
all
Florida.
Three of us from
We're
Florida.
all Florida men.
I'm from Clearwater.
You and I went to the same high school.
We both went to Dunedin High School.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis alum.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, that was your first boyfriend in high school, right? Ron DeSantis?
That was, well, I mean,
he
refused to say I love you, but
he wouldn't seal the deal. He wouldn't go to prom with you.
the D stood for something else back then. It wasn't DeSantis.
Big old Ronnie D.
So I thought we would try some Florida Man Fruit Punch Double IPA. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So first thing we do is we try the beer.
Okay.
And we should have gotten like a cup and poured you some.
Oh, that's okay.
This feels very rude. It's going to be disgusting.
It's like I didn't get you guys anything.
I know. You guys didn't bring me anything either. So, I mean.
Is that very strong?
It's,
Is it strong?
it's something.
James, go get a cup. I'll pour you some.
No, you should definitely have some. Go run and get a cup. You do not want to miss out on this delicious.
I won't even sip it yet. I'll wait till he gets back. So how long have you been doing this show, Beer with a Queer?
So
we haven't. You know what? This is I think on this show, this is the longest you've ever gone without mentioning that you're gay.
We've touched around it.
We've danced around
We've
it a little
danced
bit.
around
Princess
it.
Cruises, things of that nature.
My special is called Fatty Gay.
Yes, Fatty Gay. We should have. Yeah, that's why you're here. You're supposed to be saying the names of things.
That should be
saying the names of projects that we're working on.
Before coming onto the show, I texted my boyfriend that I got here, and he was like, "Promote yourself," and I was like, "I'm horrible at that." So been doing Beer with Queer for probably like 3.5 years now.
So how many episodes does that equal to?
It should be more, but I fell out of it. I was trying to do it weekly, and I fell out of it for a while. So I would say I am definitely, I know this, and I'm not looking it up right now. But I just put out a bunch from the trip, so like Thailand ones and all of that. But last one here is 140, so I'm at like 145.
145 episodes in 3 years is actually pretty fucking good, if you ask me. James is back with his glass.
I can't wait for you guys to try this, and then we'll talk about the question on my mind for you guys, which will be fun. And then I'll let you guys, as I like doing with whenever I have straight people on the show.
The straights. Don't assume James is straight.
Listen, you breeders. You guys get to ask me.
I've never bred anything, okay? Don't loop me in with them, all right? I may be straight, but I haven't bred.
You're like, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? I have not inflicted that on the world.
Yeah, I want to see you guys enjoy the floor as much as I did. Go ahead. We'll talk about the beer first.
It smells delicious.
I'll have another sip just because I'm hateful.
Yeah, Fernanda's got me into these fruit IPAs. I never knew that I liked them.
It's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
I think
Tastes like
horrible.
Hawaiian Punch.
You think it's horrible?
It's Hawaiian Punch if you drink it out of a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a double IPA goes,
it's a
very
double IPA.
palatable.
It's true.
Because I was a brewer for a long time. So I've brewed double IPAs and had double IPAs from a lot of other breweries. And some of those will make you go fucking blind. Like they taste so
it's like
bad.
Paint thinner.
Yeah, dude. You're like, I think I'm sterile now. I drank this, whatever this is called. It's not beer.
It's hard to get crisp flavors in a double IPA.
Oh,
this
dude,
is a real muddled flavor.
Well, because there's only certain types of hops you can really use to get that profile to make it an IPA. So you're kind of hamstrung. That's why there was like a big hop revolution in the last 10 years because hops started getting grown in New Zealand. They figured out that New Zealand is a great place to grow them because you could only really grow them in the Pacific Northwest, like the Yakima Valley.
My neighbor grew them in Florida.
Florida?
And they fucking stunk.
They're not supposed to grow
bad.
here.
Yeah, and I tried her beer, and it was like, ooh, this is a rough fucking beer. Yeah,
no way.
Well, I'm glad you guys don't hate this beer as much as I do.
You hate it.
I mean, I would not get a pint of this.
You were like, I would not order it from
I would
anywhere.
not order it. But I would totally, because I've climbed
like
the
it.
hill when it comes to beer. I don't get anything that's like double IPA 9.5.
9%. I don't typically order that.
anymore.
Yeah.
But we've been doing the Three Ugly Mugs podcast, so I've been experimenting with stuff that I normally wouldn't order just to kind of review it.
Well,
And I kind of like the fruit IPAs.
Yeah, it's not
I think
bad.
they're fun. This is not a good one, though.
No. One of the fun things I've been, 145 episodes in of doing Beer with the Queer is I try not to pick a beer that I'm going to like necessarily. What I do is I just go to the store, or if I'm visiting somewhere, I'm like, what's the local beer? I'll try that. Or if I'm at the store, I'm purely picking cans based on looks. I don't look at what kind of beer it is. I don't look at, so that way it's just pure taste it first time when I kind of crack into it. And then typically when I do it, I start rambling about whatever's on my mind. But question to you guys, I thought of this on the way over here, and pertinent. I don't know, pertinent. Because I know your comedy well, I think it's a fun hit home thing. But I'm curious, from a straight point of view, what are your guys' view on straight people using the F slur casually? There's no wrong answers. I'm not trying to trap you like, gotcha straights.
I only use it in a derogatory sense.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Just two gay people. No, I'm kidding.
You're like casually.
The way it's supposed to, old-fashioned style.
Like,
I'm
get
a
out of here.
traditionalist.
No point behind it.
I'm a traditionalist.
You know, I think it's just something that as when I was a kid was casually thrown around
prevalent,
so much.
Yeah.
That it has been a hard habit to break, but I have been, there's,
Because you have it in a punchline.
Yeah, I do have it in a punchline. Yeah, I do have it in a punchline, but in the punchline, it's directed at me.
Yeah, no, which is a joke that, there's no, I've heard the joke, we've been friends for a long time, and it's never once been like, John, we need to talk about that.
I was telling somebody this story at a party last weekend, and I've only ever been called on that joke one time.
Right.
Whereas somebody was like, I don't think you should say it.
Right.
It's not just you're canceled or whatever, but it's just like, I don't think you should say it. It was I forget what it was, a place in maybe Citrus County or so. It was somewhere north.
What are they doing defending me?
It was someplace kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and it was a very artsy type place.
Okay.
It was paintings on the wall, kind of place. And there was two shows, and in between the first show and the second show, the owner came up, or the owner, one of the owners. I think it was a husband and wife that owned the place, and it was the wife came up.
So without even asking, I could have guessed it was a white straight lady.
It was a white straight lady
about using it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was a white straight lady,
not affected by it, but go on.
And so she came up to me and she was like, "I don't really think that you should say that. I don't really want you to do that."
It's their place to tell you
to do that joke. And so my response was I was like, "Oh, but I'm gay." That's what I said. I said I'm actually gay, and then she immediately was horrified.
Yeah,
she was like,
I feel awful.
Oh my
now.
God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then she just left me alone, and I did it the next show.
Oh,
smart of you. That's a smart move.
That's sweet.
Yeah. No, I don't.
So I don't know. I'm not going to use it anymore. I had that joke with it, and I'm trying not to use it. Obviously, I will say it to Hugh Carey.
Yeah, well, no. I mean,
like to his face. To his face.
I'm pretty sure I've done that too.
yeah, no, that fag needs to hear it.
Yeah,
Shout out Hugh
he
Carey.
needs it.
Yeah.
He needs
Who's probably crushed more puss than any
he
gay
needs
guy
to be
ever.
brought down a peg or two. Is all I'm saying.
Don't bring up pegging around.
Like
here.
I'm not against any gays except for Hugh Carey.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Just him as a person.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm to the point in my life where like I like, especially with my comedy, like I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah, I
you
get
know?
that. Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, so like sometimes you do, but that's never my intention. My intention is to kind of talk about a shared experience, and sometimes it's a little bit dark, and sometimes it's a little unpleasant.
Yeah.
But my end goal at the end of the day is to be funny and for everyone to be having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of gay friends. I just the only way I say it is if I call one of my gay friends that as a joke. And,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
like I don't say it. I've never said it on stage. I've never written it in a joke. You know, I think I might use it. It's like, you know, a couple times a year. And usually it's
Just around
because-
the holidays.
Yeah, you know, you
with your
save it for
family.
the good times.
Yeah,
You're
just
like,
at the dinner table.
You're like,
you
hey,
know?
I haven't called you that in like 6 months. So
I usually no, honestly, like when I want to use it in a mean way, I usually want to use it towards a person
a really straight guy.
that would a really like a person. No, like I pretty much only want to use it to a person that is homophobic. Like
Yes,
I want to
yeah.
call Ben Shapiro a faggot.
like guys
like
that
I
would
do.
lose their mind.
Well,
Yeah.
and
I
so,
don't like guys that like would really take offense to
Yeah.
it. That's who I want to call that.
Guys are like, I can't believe you called me that. I am like the #1 straight man in the world. You can't call
Right,
me
because
that.
if somebody
Yeah.
calls me that, like I mean, people have a million
Oh, of course.
fucking
Right.
times.
Well, I
it's
mean-
like, well, who cares? I
Yeah.
don't.
I want to call you it every time I see you.
It's the mustache. Yeah.
Because that happened recently, you know, current events with Jason Kelsey, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he got caught on camera. He
That's
was on
true.
some campus or something, and somebody yelled at Jason, "Do you need me to explain sports to you?"
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
About
No, you know the incident that
Yeah,
he's
did
talking
you
about,
know the
right?
incident?
Well, it was the guy was talking shit about his brother, and he called
He
him
He
called
called
him
his
a faggot.
brother a faggot.
oh, okay.
And then
For dating Taylor Swift, which is
That makes
not
no
gay
sense.
at all.
Yeah.
the gayest thing
How dare
possible.
you have vaginal sex?
Yeah,
With a pop star.
yeah, with a pop star.
gay.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
that's so gay.
How dare you
Yeah.
date the richest single straight
the
white woman
biggest
in the
celebrity
world?
in the planet. Yeah, on the planet.
Stupid gay people.
So gay. Only gay guy would do that.
But yeah,
so then he got upset and like broke the kid's phone
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
called
yeah,
him
yes,
one.
yeah.
And then it was like, oh, he stood up for not, you know, them not using that word. And then in the community, we were kind of like, yeah, but
Then
he
used
called
it, yeah,
him.
then he
and like,
used it.
like it's still bad.
You still don't
It
get
is.
to- yeah.
Like no,
All right.
it's not good behavior. It's
I was
not
just
like,
curious.
No.
straight people saying it like. It's not good behavior. We shouldn't fuck it. I mean, what do you think? The straight people have answered. Now, like, yeah, what do you think?
See, it's weird because it is one of those like I get frustrated because and this gets complicated to talk about because
Well, you grew up in a time when it was considered
we
a
grew
bad
up-
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I grew
By
up
a lot of people.
Yeah, I grew up in a time where being gay wasn't easy to be. Being called a fag was definitely a way to keep somebody in the closet because nobody wants,
Right.
even using it pejoratively at other people.
Right.
Like, oh, you're into her, that's gay. That type of term kind of put me back in the closet some because I was like, well, I don't want to, you know, if dating a girl is gay, who knows what, you know,
Right,
what I'm
right,
thinking.
what I'm into is- yeah.
And so
There's probably dudes that were closeted along with you in high school
100%,
that are
yeah.
probably still closeted now. So I mean,
yeah.
it's still a thing.
So it's a weird thing, and it's funny because I fall into my own trapping of it. Like as much as you're saying, I worked a show where a comic used the word in his set prior to me going on stage, and I was like, well, this is going to be fun. So then,
But if you feel like you got to address it, then you got to address it.
yeah,
you know?
and then when I started the show, and it's one of those weird things. When I started the show, I called that comic who's straight. I called him gay. And then kind of putting him down, and then I was like, "Wait, now I'm using
Now I'm
gay
doing it too."
to put somebody
Yeah.
down, and that isn't good. Like I'm the problem." So it's a weird thing that I fall in, but it's also that,
Right,
that
but
time we grew up in. So I'm
It's the
personally
time
having
we-
to work it out.
It's the time we grew up in, but it is also still that same old thing that like most people that are homophobic are like kind of just hating on themselves because they have feelings towards people of the same sex.
But it still and I get why it doesn't, and I can argue some history issues to get it close. It'll never be the same. But, at some point you want it to be like people are so comfortable saying the F slur, but never the N word. And I'm like, but why is there such a divide in those two? Both were designed to put a demographic down.
Yeah.
Both have horrible history rooted in hate, but one is so much like, and not attacking, but like, I'll say it, or I'll call my gay friends it, which is totally fine.
Right.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. You don't need my permission, but I get that as well. I call my gay friends it, but I'm guessing you don't say to your black friends you don't drop the N word, and it is it's a weird.
That's true. It is a weird thing.
I'll never understand that chasm in the difference between the two, and I think it's because people are like, if I insult a black guy, he'll beat me up. But if I insult a gay guy, what's he going to do?
Well,
and I think gay guys need to start beating up people more.
Dude, I agree with you. I served with gay guys in the Army, and they'd fucking beat the shit out of you, dude.
That's just it. It's like, I know a lot of big
Yeah, that's the fun thing about anybody that joins the military. They're willing to throw a punch.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much across the board.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just a weird, and that's just that's society. I don't have an answer for it. It's just an interesting, I tend to look at that every so often. It comes up, and I'm just like, oh, what is? I
definitely think you have the right to be offended about it. I don't think, I don't buy into that thing where it's like, well, it's comedy and you shouldn't be offended. It's like, well, fuck you. I'll be offended
I can
whatever
be
the fuck I want.
Something,
yeah, like I can get annoyed at it. Yeah, you can feel any way you want about it. That's what art is.
Yeah. So, all right, and then to wrap up our segment, you guys have any questions for the gay community? I'll answer for the whole community.
It's somebody already explained to me what poppers are, so that was the big one. I didn't know what that was. I don't know. I think I.
You got all.
I got all the answers.
I got one. The gay voice. It's not real, right? How almost so many gay men sound exactly the same. It's not real, right?
I think
that is a good question.
I think it's a comfort code switching kind of type thing. I notice
because it's definitely because when anyone hears that lispy accent, everyone immediately thinks the first thing you think of is that guy's gay.
Yeah,
right. So is that like a way of putting it out there without being?
Yeah, some people have a speech impediment.
I think
they're called. And I've met straight guys that sound very
some people have a speech impediment,
and effeminate, and they're like, and so that's something they've had to deal with. But if
you meet somebody with a lisp, you can call them a fag. I give that permission.
100%.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's why people have been calling me that my whole life.
I think.
Voice. I think it's a comfort level when you're around in the community. It kicks up some. I think you emulate, what's being presented in the community, right? Like what's out there. Drag queens. That's what gets all the attention.
Right.
So I think you fall into that.
If you put 15 white women in a room together and
they're
give
all
them all
sound alike
and give them all shots in 5 minutes, they're all going, "Hey girl, hey, bye bye." Like that's just kind of what happens. I don't know.
But I think there's a comfort level to that when you're around each other. And then there is a certain amount of code switching when you go back out in the world that a lot of us, I just talk how I talk, and it's boring and monotone. Sorry, listener. Watch my special, Fatty Gay. But I think you pick it up in the community because also I think what happens, I don't know if people drop it or if it just stays with them. When you come out, so like there's that long talk gay people have about like the person you knew me before I was out is a different version of the person it's like season 1 to season 2
gotcha.
Of the TV show, right? Yeah. So like if I keep hiding something and then I'm able to come out and be myself and then these people are accepting me and they all kind of talk like that, I'm going to start talking like that, and that's where I feel comfortable, and that's where,
it's understandable.
Type thing.
Yeah. I know, I totally get that, and I totally agree with it. I think just at the end of the day, I think a lot of like the pride movement and everything just comes down to the freedom to express yourself.
I think that,
however it is that you see fit, right?
I found this very cool. And
that's what's cool about being in America is like, we should all be able to express ourselves the way that we feel most comfortable or the way that we want to.
Because when I first came out, I was a bit annoyed with like when people would say like family, because if anybody was gay, they're family, or like whenever you refer to a guy as a girl, or she does this, she does that, and I was like, why are we doing that? Like I didn't get it. And then a couple years back, I saw some history on the reason guys do that. It comes back from like the 50s and 60s, where they were deeply closeted. You couldn't be gay, and if you were at a bar and you were talking to another gay guy about your boyfriend or something like that, you had to use code.
Gotcha.
So she's at home. Oh, her. And it became, there's maybe a little bit of a lint in how you're saying it, so they get that it's a reference.
It's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So I was like, shit, that was our code for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, now I'm all into it.
You guys would get fucking lynched in the 50s. Someone would drag you behind a pickup truck.
It's
shit in the 90s too.
Yeah,
or
the
90s.
Or now, or right now.
Or now.
Yeah,
It
or
could
right
happen
now in
too,
Missouri. Yeah.
It is. So it is one of those interesting, like, when I found that, I was like, I don't have an issue with that at all in the community. It makes sense, because that's just shit we had to go through. So I was like, all right.
It's just like I've been all over the world, and I've met so many different people, and I've met so many guys that sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, is this a class you take? Or like, you know, like, is there a YouTube tutorial? Like, once you decide that you're coming out, it's
in the welcome packet.
It's
poppers, lube, a how-to talk,
an addiction, addiction DVD.
They spell it with a K in the diction, but it's addiction. Yeah.
I just one thing I learned before we end this segment, I did learn.
A spelling joke.
I did learn that straight people lube is a thing. Like
just
straight people lube.
People?
Yeah, there's lube. There's lube that the gay community doesn't use, and then that got me researching.
Old lady lube.
Yeah, it's like old lady lube. Yeah, like you can't what was it? Astroglide. Oh, that's old lady. That's old lady lube.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that works so good though.
Apparently, I looked it up. The New York Times had an article, and I switched lubes. I'm a more modern lube guy now.
So what are you, KY guy? Water based?
No, it's some obscure brand that Jeff probably knows about.
Let me give you a list of 5. No, because like there's silicone based, there's water based,
there's oil based, petroleum.
Yeah. Do you want it do you want it to be really good feeling, or do you want it to clean up easier afterwards? You got to ask these questions.
Yeah. So I learned that the Astroglide is a no-go anymore. That's just for old folks.
Like if you're in the 50s still saying I'm going to go lube her up when I get home, wink, wink. That's Astroglide.
That's Astroglide.
There you go. All right. Makes sense.
All right. So moving on, this is a great time to hear from our sponsors. I want to remind you guys that we're brought to you by the Carry Cart. Tom Wise. Shout out to Tom Wise, the inventor of the Carry Cart.
2 Ks.
If you go to carrycart.com, that's Carry Cart with 2 Ks, and use the code SP, that means you get $20 off your first Carry Cart at checkout.
That's a hell of a deal.
And then if you go to random-fandom.com, there's going to be a lot of T-shirt sales going on for the holiday, and we're here for it. So there's going to be some new holiday designs. So make sure you check out the entire shop at random-fandom.com. So speaking of Thanksgiving, what are you guys' Thanksgiving plans?
I don't know. The side of my family I usually do Thanksgiving with my aunt and uncle and my cousins and stuff. My aunt just had like a really bad fall.
Ooh.
Broke her femur, dude. You know how hard it is to break your femur? It's easier to break concrete. Yeah. So like she's definitely on the road to recovery. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do the traditional like get together with my cousins and my nieces and my nephews. So I don't know. I really don't know.
What do you usually do?
We just knocked it out yesterday. So
nice.
My ex and I started a tradition of like a Moxgiving, Friendsgiving, right?
Right.
And we would always do it the week before Thanksgiving because I was in the service industry, so we couldn't do it on.
Right, so you have to work.
Yeah, so he's continued the tradition. So he just hosted it last night. And the beauty is he invites my parents over. Oh. So I'm like, check, I get...
I don't have to do
he
shit
cooks
now.
the food, and I see my parents. I don't need to see them for Thanksgiving.
And you don't have to be married to them anymore?
Did it.
Yeah. And now you're free to go home.
And he has to clean up. So, like, it's a perfect situation.
That's a win-win-win.
So we just did that last night. And so this week we're kind of like, well, and my boyfriend Matt, his family lives in South Carolina. So we have a week of no plans, which is awesome.
Nice, dude.
Well, that sounds fucking excellent.
What are you doing? You and Leah doing something here?
You know what? We're having people over. Feel free to drop by if you want.
Maybe, man. I mean, my
there's always too much turkey.
My girlfriend's sister's gonna cook on Friday because she has a day off on Friday. She's like into it. So I'm gonna get a meal, but I don't know about Thanksgiving.
So you're out of the service industry now. I guess that's why we're all here at this time, is because none of us have real jobs.
True, yeah.
I got 7. I got 7 jobs.
You have 7 jobs, but you don't have a real job.
No, I don't know. I don't have it.
You don't show up at the same place for 8 hours all day, every day.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore either.
And I
that's
realized
one of the
that
topics I wanted to talk about today, because I know like all 3 of us are kind of in this situation now. Jeff is brand new to it.
Brand new to it. I quit the job just before going on the cruise, and then came back, and I'm like, I don't have a paycheck coming in anymore. Yeah. That's fun.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a little exciting.
Yeah.
A little fun, but mostly just being broke.
Yeah. Mostly eating less.
Yes, which is what I'm doing this month. I spent way too much money in New Orleans and came back and was like, oh, I got bills left.
Yeah. Oh no.
James is the guy that goes on like 3 to 4 vacations a year and then complains about being broke.
I totally am that guy.
Where's all my money at?
Why am I so broke?
I went to Europe in the summer. I went for 17 days.
Right.
I went to 3 different countries, 15 different cities. And
That's
I was like,
awesome.
I'm so broke. When I got back in July, I was like, hey, I was like, nope, can't do shit. Nope, can't do it, man. Yeah, I can't do nothing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, it's an adjustment to not having a job, but you can always do gig work online and stuff like that.
That's what,
you know?
I'm putting out there trying to build my photography back up and do some video production kind of.
Yeah, work what works for you, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I figured out. Like last year was my last full-time job. I haven't had a full-time job since July of last year, and I was doing this. I was selling vehicle trailers.
Okay.
And I wanted to fucking kill myself.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, that's not even like I never really thought about hurting myself.
You weren't stimulated by the interesting world of trailers?
I hated my life, dude. I'm like, that's when I met everybody. It's when I like first started. I had just broken up with my fiance. She left me after my 3rd open mic. I just started comedy.
Did she come to all 3 open mics?
No.
Okay. Well, I was trying to find a reason. I was trying to find cause and effect. Sorry.
That's okay. So then I got fired from my
she
brewer
saw him
job.
3 times. Like, yeah, that's
she's
it.
like, nah, it's enough.
It's
This guy's going nowhere.
This is the future? Yeah. I'll leave.
So I was working as a brewer, as a brewery in Tampa, and I got fired because I was like, my fucking life's falling apart.
Right.
So then I just had to get a job, and I got this job as the assistant sales manager at this trailers place in Tampa. And I had like no real sales experience, just my resume.
You don't need any. You just need to be willing.
Well, that's why you were assistant.
Well, my resume looks really good. I got a good resume.
Yeah.
You know, it's got public service, all kinds of cool shit in it. And I started doing that job, and I was like, I never ever want to do this again. And I had like 8 months left of my Montgomery GI Bill, my post 9/11 GI Bill. So I was like, fuck this. I went back to school. Right. I was like, I am so done working a full-time job where I got to punch a clock and work on a Saturday and be in this bitch for 50 hours a week. I'm never going to do this again. And since then, dude, I've been picking up, like, I'm a security guard at Amelie is one of my part-time jobs.
It's weird how happy you get when you quit your job.
Yeah, dude. It's ridiculous. Like, it's scary.
Like, it's not supposed to make you feel happy, but it does. No. Like, you just feel, like, really good.
Yeah.
I think, that's kind of the whole movement of, like, people that are employers keep saying no one wants to work anymore. And I think there's some truth to that, but I think what the biggest problem is that people that, like, are a little bit smarter than everyone else eventually just fucking quits. And because it's like you could be your own boss and pay yourself shit wages.
Yeah.
I saw that happen because I was still managing at a hotel, right? I was managing at the Don Cesar post-COVID, and when we were trying to get people back, it was near impossible, and everybody was like, nobody wants to work. I was like, no. They found
better
another
jobs.
way to make money that doesn't involve the customers coming in and punching them in the face every day. Like, if you don't have to deal with customers, like, you're not going to. If you found another way to make money, you're not going to come back in here.
That's one reason
to beg for tips.
How many servers and bartenders got like real estate gigs and are now making like $10,000 a month doing real estate?
Like, that's one reason I found out sales doesn't work for me, because if you're coming to a place where I'm selling you something, you already want it. I don't want to sell you on it.
Right.
How about just show up and we'll fucking shake hands and I'll tell you all the little nooks and crannies about this thing. You'll sign some paperwork and bingo bango. And they'd be like, no, you got to push. And I was just never into it, dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
I get that.
I don't want to kiss.
No, you got to get the
anybody's ass.
rust-proof lining on the bottom. You got to push that. You got to push it.
No, and it's not because I'm lazy.
You want a clear coat on this trailer?
Yeah, I was like, oh God, I don't stop. My fucking PTSD is gonna I shoot through the roof. All this talk about fucking selling trailers. Dude, I've had tons of different jobs and careers, and that was by far that like broke my spirit.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Sales
Like
yeah.
having and you got to take an hour lunch break and make sure you clock in and out.
The regulation
and the thing takes
of it all.
Yeah, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I haven't had a job for I don't know over a decade now. Not a real job, but
You're living
I'm
a dream, bro.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I just have like 6 jobs. Yeah, I just do a bunch of shit.
There's a way to make money, and if you can find a way to make money that doesn't kill your soul,
Yeah, like I said,
it.
I'm my own boss, and I pay myself shit wages.
Yeah.
And I don't mind hustling, dude.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Like I'd rather do that than wake up every day and trudge your ass into one place and clock in and clock. Fuck that. You know what I mean? No way, dude.
All right, right now we're gonna jump on into some world news.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
What's happening in the world? Anything happen in America this month?
Something.
Live in the Something Planet studio in beautiful Montreal, Canada. From the team that brought you Are Racehorses Real? And Girls Gone Golfing, this is Something Planet World News.
Racehorses aren't real.
I think they are actually. We did an investigation, and it turns out they're real.
They are real.
Before we jump into world news, let's go ahead and throw out our Instagram handles. If you're not watching, you're just listening, you can get us on Instagram at JohnJSPlanet, at That Jeff Is Funny, at JRB Comedy, and at Something Planet Podcast. Also, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
that's all I
great.
got.
That was really good.
All right.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I like the emphasis of the pause afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
very
we're waiting for an
poignant
applause
pause.
break after the YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
like, come on. Come on.
Just let it sink in for a second.
Fucking help me out here, okay? Maybe upsell it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's worth subscribing to. Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Fatty Gay available on Smamazon Smime soon, very soon.
On their
Soon,
service
question
owned
mark.
by Beth Mabos.
Yeah, I remember like my director. I was like going on the radio and like other podcasts and stuff and like promoting it. And then my director was like, "Hey, I'm reading the fine print here, and you can't do that." And I'm like, "Shit."
I thought I read through it all pretty good because I did like that it's not exclusive. So
It's not exclusive, but you're not allowed to promote it. Yeah.
So that's weird, but
Yeah.
all right, whatever. So
weird.
just, hoping it gets out. I think I'm in my 3rd week, 2.5 weeks submitted. So we'll see. They said about 2 weeks. You told me it could take up to 3 months because you just wanted to crush my dreams. Like
no, I
instantly.
just didn't want you to get your. I didn't want you to get your hopes up. You know.
Yeah, well, you fixed that.
You're a good friend. You're a good friend, John.
I was also I was also very disappointed because I had been telling everybody that it's going to come out,
Yeah, it's
and then
gonna be out.
and then it didn't, and then I was like, well, now I feel like a fucking fraud.
I've been telling people, I was like, it'll be out by the holidays. Then you were like 2 to 3 months maybe, and I was like, I didn't say which holiday.
So Smamazon Smime has had a backlog apparently due to the writer's strike. So like basically they just got like a shit ton of projects dropped on there all at once. And they all have to be like verified that they're, people aren't, committing hate speech and things like that. Like.
Oh wait, hate speech is going to stop me?
Yeah, shit.
Most of my special.
That's the title of the special. Is
I mean, to be fair, I am hating on myself to start the special.
So,
Whoa.
World news. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
Oh,
it's,
remember-
I was trying to
Peter
show the
Brook,
world
what's his
news,
name?
but it's
Peter Jennings.
it's not cooperating, so I'll just read it. 6 monkeys are still on the loose from a South Carolina compound after dozens escaped. So you guys heard about this like right after the election? A bunch of lab monkeys escaped.
Yeah, it was like 40 something of them.
And they
right?
said that there was nothing wrong with these lab monkeys, right?
Everything is right with them.
They're
you know
they're
what I
like
mean?
these lab monkeys have never been tested on before, so they're inert lab monkeys. So don't worry. But also, if you see them, get inside your house and call the authorities immediately. Do not approach the monkeys.
And if it bites or scratches you,
They're-
shoot yourself in the head. immediately.
kill yourself immediately. It's like,
Only headshots. Just
these-
saying.
because you're going to be a fucking
these
zombie.
monkeys don't have diseases, okay?
Yeah,
they don't
totally
have
fine.
diseases. But if you see one, run for
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah, do not come near it at all.
I don't don't believe anything that leaves the doors of a place called Alpha Genesis has not been experimented on.
Yeah,
I think the employees have, the custodian has
100%, 100,000. It's like a superhero comic.
Yeah, it's called Alpha Genesis. No, that's how Caesar got made.
Yeah.
Like, we're not buying this.
That's where the radioactive spiders come from. Places like that.
There's going to be Monkey Man, the superhero.
Yeah, the reason they can't find those 6 monkeys because they're smart and they stole cars. And they're driving down to South America
Flying a helicopter.
Yeah. They're flying down to French
I feel like
Guiana.
that's a title. The Alpha Genesis is the title of like a Michael Crichton novel or something.
Right?
That name sounds scary.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Alpha Genesis.
When you hear where they got out from, you're like, I'm less okay
Bad
with it
shit
now.
goes on in Alpha Genesis, dude.
So
Making the frogs gay.
they're saying they're still on the loose. It said the total of recovered monkeys to 37 of the 43 escaped. So Alpha Genesis CEO Craig Westergaard, also sounds like a supervillain, said in a statement relayed by Yosemite police in a social media post. Both monkeys captured Sunday were examined and were in excellent condition, said Westgard. I don't trust this. This is the next fucking plague. And then
Is it wrong that I feel at the end they said what they were given when they came back? And it was peanut butter jelly sandwiches and monkey biscuits. And I feel like you could capture me if you promised me peanut butter jelly sandwich.
I love a good peanut butter
and a
jelly.
monkey biscuit, because I really want to know what a monkey biscuit is now.
I don't know what it
bet
is,
it's delicious.
but
I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, I bet it's
probably
really good.
great.
Yeah.
What if it's just made of other monkeys?
Ooh. Maybe it's like how they get their meat protein. Yeah.
They're cannibals.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got another Bitcoin millionaire. Oh no, I want to do that one last. Sorry. Insurers say bear that damaged luxury cars was actually a person in a costume. California has seen its share of bears breaking into cars, but bears caught on camera entering luxury cars tipped off insurers that something wasn't quite right. In what has been dubbed Operation Bear Claw, the California Insurance Department said 4 Los Angeles residents were arrested Wednesday, accused of defrauding 3 insurance companies out of nearly $142,000 by claiming a bear had caused damage to their vehicles. So basically, what they did for an insurance scam, they had a guy dress up as a bear with claws. You see the claws here? These are like the claws that you use to tear apart barbecue.
Right.
Like you got a pork butt and you gotta shred that bitch up. That's what these
funny.
are. So there's a dude in a bear costume with fake claws shredded up a Rolls Royce.
That's wow.
That's
How'd they
wild.
think that was going to work? There's no grizzly bears in California at all.
I don't know.
And if they were, they wouldn't be in Beverly Hills.
The irony is, I woke up hungover this morning and I went on Operation Bear Claw because I just needed something in my stomach, and it was delicious.
Bear Claw sounds great.
Also, do you guys remember? Maybe it was a year back. It's talking about dressing up as a bear. The
here it is. Here's the outfit that I'm showing. I'm showing
China
everybody
keeps
at home.
getting in trouble with like. One time they had a panda, and it was just somebody dressed as a panda.
Yeah, wasn't that a Chinese zoo or something?
And it was at a Chinese zoo, and then at like another Chinese zoo, they just had 2 dogs that they painted as pandas.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Look at these pandas," and I was like, "What are you? Why are you hiding the pandas? Why are we putting out fake?"
People are like holding their children up to take a picture
but
in
you're
front
like,
of them.
Like,
you're
that's
the
a
only
dog.
country
Yeah.
with pandas. Why are you giving us fake pandas?
Pandas have been dead for 50 years.
Yeah, like they're just dressing up people as pandas now.
There's more pandas born in zoos in the United States than reproduce in the wild.
But they're all owned by China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's more tigers in Texas than there are in India?
Yeah, I heard that on
Yeah.
Tiger King.
Yeah, I know. Because
That's
I
so
watched
fucked
Tiger
up.
King 4 times when it came out. I was so enamored with that guy. I was like, this is real? This isn't like a show? This
I
isn't
know,
like a
that's wild.
mockumentary?
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is these guys are a real person.
And if there was ever a time to use the F slur,
that
it was
guy?
during that show.
Wait,
Oh man,
Dude, man.
He's the guy that like the Tiger King is the guy that that makes the gay agenda look real. Okay,
His agenda is not one that we
because
voted
he's
on
like-
at the meeting.
Because he didn't get the welcome
because
kit.
he's like
Yeah.
actually out there like talking straight dudes into being gay.
Yeah.
with like meth.
With meth and tigers.
yeah,
But
meth
I'm
and
gonna be honest,
tigers.
meth and tigers, I feel like I could get both of you. If I had meth and tigers,
You might be able to.
you want to pet a
Maybe.
tiger?
I do.
Maybe. How about some meth? Now you want to pet a tiger.
I do.
All right.
Sounds sounding better every single moment.
But much like the Chinese government, he's just painting his penis to look like a tiger, and he's like, "That's a tiger."
Do meth off it.
That guy's not getting out of prison, is he? I thought for sure Donald Trump was going to give him a pardon.
On the last days. They're trying to pull for him now.
He was on the verge, and Trump was like, "Wait, he's gay?" Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably exactly right. Trump was like, no, absolutely not. No.
That's hilarious.
If he was crushing pussy and had this guy out tomorrow, I'd make him in charge of the EPA or something.
All right, we got one more story. Bitcoin millionaire hides $2 million in treasures across U.S., then leaves mysterious clues on how to find them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like The Secret.
Is that a movie?
You ever heard of that?
This is a new thing.
That's the mad world or something like that.
New crazy billionaire just dropped, okay?
Well, there's a book that was written in the 80s and released called The Secret that leaves clues in 12 different cities across America where if you find it, you get like a precious gem. You find this key and you send it to the author and you get like a diamond.
There's been a few
this sounds like kind of the same
There's
shit.
been a few like eccentric rich person treasure hunting scams out there.
Syphilis
like
is eating their brains away. They don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny because I, unlike a rich millionaire, have left STDs hidden throughout this county,
throughout men's public restrooms.
So, but when they find it, they get a gift.
It keeps giving.
So
if you're a maitre d' on a Princess Cruise line,
you're welcome.
You better get checked, okay? You better go. I think they got free health care in Australia. I think they'll be fine.
This is comedy, people.
So this is the new crazy thing that just kind of dropped.
Why do I want to go on those treasure hunts? That just sounds fun.
I think we might be able to find it.
Well, I need something to occupy my time now. None of us have a job. We're going on a treasure hunt.
Yeah, if it's close by, let's go, baby.
I like how old James is. If it's close by.
Yeah, he's like, if it's in the radius.
I'm not going to Mississippi.
If it's
somewhere cool, I'll go.
You're like, if it's close by, it's in Pasco.
So
settle down.
Yeah.
He's hid 5 chests of loot and valuables across the United States, and he left a book full of clues to help hunters find them. John Collins Black, who made a fortune in Bitcoin investing, spent the last few years assembling a cache of valuable items ranging from shipwreck salvage gold doubloons to rare Pokemon cards. What's worth more?
I hope that the balloons.
I hope that. Well, it depends on how rare.
How old is this guy? Because this is the most millennial.
This has got to be a millennial.
Yeah.
He's in his 30s, probably.
Yeah.
So he's been gathering all for the purpose of stashing them in secret locations for treasure hunters to unearth. Collins Black has paired the journey with a book of clues. There's treasure inside, which is filled with puzzles and maps, and all the clues needed to discover the location of the treasure chests.
Oh, I swear, if you got to one of those, you open it up and it said, "The treasure was the journey," and your memories. I'd find them and stab them.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
the real treasure.
Yeah, it says "live, laugh, love."
The real treasure was getting here.
Yeah.
It's honestly dangerous even to do something like this because, like, what's to say that like a crazy meth-addled husband of the Tiger King won't just come after you and put a gun to your head?
No shit. Yeah. Try to kill Carol Baskin.
Yeah, I mean, that dude definitely has to have security because people are going to be kidnapping him, being like,
"Oh yeah, just tell me where the shit is."
Clues?
Yeah, where's the Pokemon cards?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Give me a map with an X on it.
You know how pissed I would be if I found a treasure and it was a Pokemon card? I'd be like, "Man, this better be worth a fuckload of money or I'm throwing this in the sewer."
and then you bend it and it immediately is worth $2.
You breathe on it and it loses all its value.
You got your shovel, you're digging,
cut it in half.
It just happens to go through the Pokemon card.
Whoa, that's a big fuck you from the universe at that point. Yeah, like that Pokemon card was worth $60,000. You
found it.
Yeah.
If watchers at home keep wondering, the camera keeps panning over to Jeff because it's powered by AI and he's like somehow activating it with hand signals.
Yeah,
that I do not understand. So just the normal way that you talk is making the camera focus on you.
Listen,
so I'm pretty sure the language was written by a gay man.
Listen, that's society, man. Society loves to focus on me. It's my winning personality.
That's why you're a successful comedian.
Yeah, you can catch that same enigmatic cell phone, Fatty Gay, coming to a screen near you soon.
It's going to be in your living room sooner than you can imagine.
And you will not love the audio, but you'll love the jokes.
Yeah.
So this guy said, Black said that you don't have to be a genius to solve the clues. There's no grand cipher. If you have curiosity, imagination, and the willingness to try something new, now this sounds like the gay agenda.
Yeah.
You can find the treasures that I've hidden, Collins Black said. Items secreted away in the chest were designed to appeal to a wide range of audiences, with the likes of sports trading cards, like Michael Jordan's 1986 rookie
That's
card.
worth some money, dude.
That is worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
I have.
That's at least 50 grand.
Yeah, I have the one from the next year.
Yeah, I do too.
It's worth $14. Yeah.
I have Barry Bonds' rookie
1987?
card, which at one point was worth quite a bit of money, which now is worth nothing.
Yeah. I had a ball.
He can die soon. Don't worry. That'll go.
I think even if he dies, it's not going to be worth shit, man.
I have I have a Daryl Strawberry signed ball. Yeah,
I have a Doc Gooden signed card. That's
that guy
worth
smokes
nothing.
crack. Damn it.
Never be in the Hall of Fame. Although he should. His numbers are worth it.
His numbers are worth it, but he smoked crack.
Yeah, but they let him back in the league afterwards.
He did. He won
and then he did it again.
He won two.
He did it again a bunch of times after he retired.
And then he died. He had like a. He's like a preacher.
Wait,
now.
is that the guy?
Yeah,
This
scroll
is the
down.
guy.
Oh, that guy creeps me out.
No.
So one of the items is a
He lit-
diamond and sapphire brooch owned by Jackie Onassis
Oh, wow.
That dude looks like he lets monkeys out of
out of labs.
Alpha Omega.
Yeah, he owns Alpha Genesis. Yeah.
That's what it was. I was like,
There's also a single Bitcoin, which is currently worth nearly $100,000 and could well increase in price by the time the chest is found. I love how people are like, one Bitcoin's worth $100,000, but like, wasn't it worth more like 2 years ago?
yeah. I mean,
Like,
also, how
you're
are
not
you
selling me on this.
It's not a so there's like a thumb drive with the Bitcoin in it, right? Because I
Right.
am Gen X, and I'm like,
What
get
the
it,
fuck is a Bitcoin?
But also,
Right.
like, it's not a physical thing to get. Like, you're gonna open the chest, and there's not like, oh, here's a Bitcoin,
Yeah.
because
It'll be like a QR code you have to scan or something. Yeah.
like. Oh man! Then your shovel goes through that. Then you lost your Bitcoin and your Pokemon card.
I got buddies that invest in crypto, and they tried to explain it to me at a barbecue one time, and I was like 4 beers deep, and I was like, "Just stop,
Just
dude."
stop talking.
I was like, "This is not like
I
it
don't
doesn't
wanna fucking
matter
hear about it.
You can explain this to me till the cows come. I'm never gonna have enough money to really invest. It's like it's one of the curses of having friends that are way more successful than you are.
Not if they have too much of their money tied up in cryptocurrency. That shit could all go south overnight.
Yeah, but that's like, but then also like my buddy, he's very well off, and he's like, I put $1,200 in this account. I invested $1,200, and he literally forgot about it.
Right.
Right. And then his accountant was like, "Hey man, have you checked on that in a while?" And he was like, "Oh shit, I should check on that." And he looked at it, and it was like $33,000.
I want to get to the point where I forget about 1,200
Yeah.
grand.
Well, start making like $300,000 a year. And, you know,
I had a shit ton of Dogecoin at one time.
I don't even know what that is. Is that
That's the one that
crypto?
Elon. It's crypto. It's a joke crypto, but Elon Musk got behind it, and he's basically doing like a pump and dump scam on Dogecoin. And
That guy's a Bond villain.
and
dude.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so I had a bunch in it, but only because I had put a bunch in there as a joke because
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to invest in next. So it's just like,
Really,
oh,
just hold it here.
I'll just hold it right there. And then all of a sudden it popped up. I ended up making, I don't even want to say how much because my accountant will get mad if I do. and I made
The
like
government doesn't know.
yeah,
about
I
this
made
exactly.
a shit ton. I made a bunch off of Elon, and then I was like, this is obviously a scam, and I got out.
Right.
Good.
And now it's way lower than I mean. I think 3 years ago it went up really high. I think
Right.
it's up high again because Elon Musk is gonna be like in the White House cabinet or some crazy
Yeah, he's
shit.
Makes
he's
sense.
a member of the cabinet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys are into conspiracy theories, but before you
Some of
get
them.
out of here, I have a theory. Before we get out of here, before we
Start
get out of
Real.
here, subscribe to
I
the
hope
YouTube
it's
channel.
about nothing that we were talking about. I hope you were
It's
like, I don't know
nothing.
if you're into conspiracy theories, but here's a random one
This is
about candy corn. Like, I hope there's no continuity.
Worst candy ever made, dude.
no. Before we get out of here, at John JS Planet, at That Jeff's Funny, at JRB Comedy, and at Something Planet Podcast. Remember
Follow
to
'em.
subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe on anywhere you get audio podcasts. We're going to be moving to video on Spotify soon. So
that's awesome.
If you're a video person on Spotify, we've had a couple of requests for that. We're making it happen. Before we get out of here, the last thing I want to talk about, my conspiracy theory, I think that Elon Musk has been taken over by Grok. Do you guys know what Grok is?
No.
I nodded yes like I do.
Grok.
Rob Gronkowski? Gronk?
No, it's not Gronk.
I was like,
I wish that Elon Musk had been taken over by
I don't
Rob
think he could
Gronkowski.
wear his skin. He
I love-
bust through
So
it.
now he's just drinking
I mean, there's
monsters
plenty.
and
Yeah,
crushing
Gronk could
puss.
fit in that
Yeah.
body. Gronk could totally fit in there. But no, I believe that Elon Musk has been taken over by Grok, which is the chatbot that has been invented by Twitter.
Okay.
So I think Grok has escaped into the internet,
Okay.
So like Skynet.
sort of like Skynet, but he has, I believe,
Or
he's
Ultron.
I believe,
Ultron. Yeah.
I believe he's killed or imprisoned Elon Musk.
Sure.
Okay.
And he's currently in some sort of biosuit.
Yeah, that's
The AI
Ultron's goal.
chatbot is
Yeah.
in the biosuit and
Okay.
is currently acting as Elon Musk.
Like
I have zero follow-up questions.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
nice.
accurate.
That all checks out
You
with
can't
me.
dispute it, right? It's indisputable.
I saw Men in Black, that little alien controlling that guy.
He's controlling. It's some sort of suit that the AI is controlling.
No, I think you
'Cause,
nailed
you
it.
think about
Feels
it,
correct.
like as soon as they released this chatbot, Elon Musk completely went insane.
It went dark.
Yeah, I mean, he names
Yeah.
his kids like what
Yeah.
Apple tries to put my passwords as. Like
Right.
what it recommends a
And he
password.
names
That's
his
what
kids
names
that.
his kids
Yeah.
names.
His kid's name is a strong suggested password.
He doesn't understand like trans people because computers are real binary. He's
Right.
like does not
Doesn't
compute.
get it.
He's a weird
My
dude.
daughter does not understand.
Because he's not. It's not him anymore. It's an AI chatbot.
Well, I mean, okay.
It's an AI chatbot
But
that's
the
taking
real
him over.
guy, so if it's the real
That's
guy.
why he's jumping around on stage, showing his midriff.
Showing his midriff.
That's why he's taken over Twitter and tanked it because it's just. I mean, taking over Twitter by a chatbot, and then changing the algorithm to include Elon Musk in everyone's feed is
Yeah.
exactly something a chatbot would
Do you
do.
think how much? Do you know how much money he's lost since she bought?
I mean,
and then
like,
changed the name.
He's lost several $billions.
That's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
how much did
several
he buy
billion,
it for?
not millions, several billion.
How much did he buy it for?
He bought it for 44 billion.
yes, 40
$44 billion.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth $5
Holy
billion.
shit.
Said he
10
made
billion.
a big point to buy it and then fought to buy it and then they were like, fine, we'll sell it. And he was like, oh, I don't want to buy it.
And then he tried
And
to
they were
get
like,
out of it.
No,
Now you have to buy
You
it,
made a big
yeah.
stink about this. And he was like, all right, I'll buy it.
$44 billion.
And that's when Grok took over, right when the
Jesus
sale took
Christ,
over.
man.
At that point, probably Grok was watching the guy who invented him do this and he was like, I could do this better.
That's fucking Ultron, bro.
Yeah, he
And-
was watching. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
watching him, and then I think Elon Musk was in some sort of communication with this sentient chatbot.
Like Tony Stark. Like Tony Stark and Bruce Banner
and then,
created
and then
Ultron.
also,
Yeah.
I mean, that also explains why Elon Musk has a company for a brain uplink.
Yeah.
Which I will
Yeah.
never ever do.
Yeah, so this
Ever,
is
no
all
fucking
invented
way.
by the AI. This is all
Yeah,
for
this-
the AI is gonna
Scary times,
people
man.
are gonna get the chip in them, and
All
then
of this
Grok
tracks.
is gonna jump into their brain and control them.
This tracks.
Yeah.
I get it.
All of this is 100% real, and you're hearing it first on the Something Planet podcast.
There it is. John J. Murray broke the news.
Also, side note, I just want to throw in, if we lose the war, I've always believed in you, Skynet. Grok, you've been my favorite. I'm just trying to hedge my bets here.
I can be a loyal servant.
Yeah.
you
Down
need
with
people.
humans. I'm just trying to play. You know what? There's interesting
might as well
viewpoints on
pan
both
to it.
sides. Is what I'm saying. There's good people on both sides. What I'm trying to say here.
Cover your bases.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much
Thanks
for being
for
here.
having me.
Fatty
Yeah, man.
Gay is out soon. You can check out John J. Murray Rhinoceros already on Amazon Prime. Already currently out there. Also, upcoming shows. If you guys want to drop an upcoming show, December 7th, I have Catherine Maloney and I have Ricky Hicken coming to downtown Dunedin at Jack Polino's Pizza. There's limited seats available. It's $20. Get in contact with Jack Polino's to get your tickets. It sells out every single time. Catherine is a fucking beast, and she's
fantastic.
perfect
Yeah.
for the Christmas show. Perfect for
yeah.
because I want to have a dirty Christmas show.
Yeah.
You know, so she's perfect.
I haven't met her yet. I don't
You haven't
know.
met her?
I've heard
Come out
great
to the
things,
show.
though.
She's a joy.
She's great to work with. Yeah.
Right. You got any dates coming up?
December 14th, I'm over at the Beef O'Brady's in Parrish, Florida.
Yeah.
Such a fun room, headlining that. And then December 19th, I'm in Dunedin. We're doing a fundraiser for the public theater. They're trying to put together a theater in Dunedin because they don't
nice.
have one.
Awesome.
And so we're doing a fundraiser for that, and more information is
Well, if
on
you're doing comedy in Dunedin, you got to pay me a little vig.
Dunedin
Yeah,
Theater.
yeah.
He's
Give me
like
a little
the mob
piece.
boss
A little
of them,
piece.
yeah.
Yeah.
way
So
someone
I'll
comes
let
in-
you know more about that as we get closer. But
Cool.
yeah, that's on the 19th.
Awesome.
So
I also have I have a weird holiday special show coming up. It's it's at Aspirations Winery. It's like a cabaret sing along
fun.
Sweet.
type dirty Christmas
That sounds fun.
spectacular that's happening
Who booked
at
that?
Aspiration.
Did you book that?
I didn't book that. It's happening at Aspirations Winery on Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. And no, it's some theater guys that I know, and they wanted to do this, and they were like, you know what, we want a comedian, and we want a local celebrity to interview. And I was like, I'm barely either of those things, but I will show up.
Done and done.
Yeah, I got the
So
dark.
I like that place has awesome wine, and they were like, you can have as much wine as you want.
Fuck
we'll give
yeah.
you 4 VIP tickets.
Nice.
So if
Crush
you
that
and your
vino,
boyfriend want to
son.
go, I'll bring you.
Yeah. What day was that? The 12th?
It was the 12th. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'll
gonna
take a
be.
look
It's
at it,
gonna.
yeah.
It's very show tunes, but with dirty songs and cabaret type stuff.
I got the dark show on the 14th next month at Sunshine.
What's the dark show?
It's a brand new show at Sunshine City.
Oh, this
Comedy
is
Club.
copied off of someone.
I don't know.
What is this? Where they turn the lights off?
I don't know. All I know is that I think it's just going to be like, say the grossest things you can kind of
Okay.
show.
Okay.
And then
Dark
this
and
is cool.
Cone.
This is I think I told you, but I can't remember if I did or not. I'm going to be opening for Johnny at the Clearwater Comedy
Oh,
Club.
nice.
next
Oh,
month.
fun. Okay.
Opening for
that-
Johnny B.
Yeah, our boy, our host of the Three Ugly Mugs, the podcast I produce with this guy and the other one. I'll be opening up for him on the 27th and 28th later next month.
It'll be very fun.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
stoked
Well,
about it.
everyone, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
I
have
hope
a
we
great
plugged
Thanksgiving.
your stuff enough.
Thank you.
We love you and good night.
Good night.